I really don't want to be a sportscaster. I want to be Chevy Chase playing a sportscaster. And I started having success doing sketch comedy, and so
he started having some success.
I failed as a sportscaster. I know that's what you're all thinking.
All right.
I fell into comedy.
But no, can't we just say all of us in this room were glad he failed as a sports broadcaster?
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of SBJ's On Stage. I'm your host, Taylor Bloom. This week, we've got a very unique conversation from the archives. A fireside chat with Will Ferrell, the actor and comedian you know from Anchorman and Elf, but he's wearing a different hat as co-owner of LAFC. He's joined by Larry Freedman, the club's co-president, in a conversation moderated by SBJ's own Abe Madkour at the 2023 National Sports Forum in Los Angeles. It's a rare chance to hear how Ferrell got involved with LAFC, what it means to him personally, and how the club has blended business, culture, and community into one of the most successful stories in Major League Soccer. Expect humor, candor, and lessons for anyone thinking about sports ownership or brand building. Let's go on stage.
It's great to be with everybody today, but I'm going to be brief because you didn't come to hear from me. You came to hear from someone. I'm very excited. And when he said, come to LA to do this session, I certainly jumped. So we were at LAFC last night and BMO Stadium. Co-president of LAFC, Larry Freedman. Bring it up for Larry. And then we all know the star of the show, the incredibly talented, the super fun. Give it up for Will Ferrell.
Should we do a trophy race?
What now?
What?
Huh?
Yeah, you guys.
Oh, look at, yeah.
Come on.
Look at that, you guys. Look at that.
How about it?
Woo!
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
I just want to say, come on. It's Will Ferrell. Give it up one more time.
That is 100% aluminum.
That is.
Yes.
How did it feel lifting that when you won it? Pretty good.
It was incredible. Yeah. It was, I've gotten to do a lot of fun, crazy stuff, and this might be the most fun. Yeah.
I want to start with you, Will. And, first off, I don't know if people know, but you were a soccer player in high school. You were a kicker of your football team.
Right.
So these sports have been, you're a sportsman.
Exactly. You may not think so, but I am. I've run 3 marathons.
Do you have another one in you?
I retired in 2003.
Okay. For marathon running.
But I did run the Boston Marathon in 3:56. Thank you.
Yeah, that's solid. That's solid. And when you went to college, I didn't know this about you either, but you was a sports information, but you wanted to be in the sports business like everybody in this room is.
I was a sports information major at USC, a major I don't believe they still offer because it was too difficult.
It was.
Yes.
It's very.
It was just too difficult. They were losing students. No, I
Oh God.
I was, growing up in the 80s, just the advent of Sports Center and everything. I thought that's what I was going to do. I was going to be a sportscaster, and so I studied sports journalism and graduated without a job. Of course, not knowing that the sports industry it's kind of difficult. You got to get a tape together and get your first job in Yuma, Arizona, or wherever you're going to start out. Yuma, yeah. We got a big contingent from Yuma here every year. Thanks, you guys. You're always the backbone of this event. I was, of course, I moved back home, as all successful stories start. So I'm living back at home, and I'm trying to, find my way, build a tape. I'm working for a local cable news station as an on-air person, and At the same time, though, I'm starting to take acting class and comedy classes at a theater here in Los Angeles called The Groundlings, which was the home for everyone from Phil Hartman, Conan O'Brien, Lisa Kudrow, Kristen Wiig, like the list goes on and on. And I thought, I really don't want to be a sportscaster. I want to be Chevy Chase playing a sportscaster. And I started having success doing sketch comedy, and so
he started having some success.
I failed as a sportscaster. I know that's what you're all thinking.
All right.
I fell into comedy.
But no, can't we just say all of us in this room were glad he failed as a sports broadcaster? So Larry, how fun and how often and how lucky are you to, have him as part of your ownership group?
It is a gift that keeps on giving. And it's been a special experience because a lot of times you meet people who have achieved a certain celebrity or star status, and you wish you hadn't met them because of the way they interact with people, the way they treat people. And Will is just Will. The Will that you see here right now is the same Will you get in any setting. And it's been a dream. And to have him as someone that actually gets as involved as Ron was saying, but what Ron didn't touch on is that Will actually participates beyond just showing up on a match day or at an event. He pushes us to do different things in the community that he shows up for. He brings his family for. His brother-in-law, who was on vacation from Sweden, will never forgive Will for waking him up at 6 a.m. to go to a Habitat for Humanity build in Long Beach. And, he gets involved in the business. He would be the last one to tell you that he does, but he does. And, little things like, I think Josh Young is probably in the audience here. And on Josh's first match day at LAFC while he was with us, I introduced him to Will. Will turned to him and said, "You got a lot of tickets to sell. Let's get on it." Yeah. While pointing at, some empty seats before kickoff. But Will digs in, and Will keeps it light, as we all know and can see. And it's been a really special experience.
How has the reality of it been different than the expectations when you bought in?
I think the reality of what's been created by Larry and his team, is just the fan engagement is off the charts, and the foothold that we've established in the community, which is the one thing. I was just doing a fun little tour in England with some buddies. We went to see 4 matches in 6 days, and there was someone at one of the games who said, "I've been to the bank. I've been, and I love."
It's BMO Stadium. They're here.
Will. BMO.
Will.
But
Will.
It's BMO Stadium, but
that's fair.
It is Bank of Montreal Stadium. Therefore, we can still say the bank. Okay. But he said, "I've been to the bank," and I corrected him and said, "You mean BMO Stadium." And he said, "I just want you to know, like, what you've created. Like, when I look out at that 3-2-5-2, and I see every section of LA being represented culturally," he goes, "We don't have that in European football." And the fact that you guys thought, let's appeal to every community out there and make this like the happy place we meet on Saturdays to cheer our team on. That's been the kind of revelation to me. Also the fact that it's not a team, it's a club. And there's a differentiation between those kind of definitions too.
So give Will and Larry an idea. How many have been to a game at BMO Stadium? Raise your hand. Okay. If
Mhm.
you need,
We have some work
you got
to
some
do.
work to do. You got some work to do.
Well, obviously Josh Young didn't finish the job, and that's
Right.
why.
But you know who's been to almost every home game is the group from Yuma.
Yeah, they have.
We call them the Yuma 3 because there's only 3 of them, and they're their own little section there.
very powerful.
It's a very rare scarf
Yeah.
to get a Yuma 3 scarf.
It's tough to go head to head with this guy. Yeah. Now, I will say, if you have not been, though, he's right in terms of the energy and the emotion and the vibrancy. And you talk about the supporter section, which represents, help me out, the number of seats in that north pitch.
Yes.
And talk a little bit about what, if someone went to a match, they'd be seeing.
So we set out to do a number of things, but one of the key components or key goals we had was to be authentic to the global game of football. And part of that is supporter-driven culture. That's how you get this community. That's how you get, ask Will's kids and their kids and their kids' kids, why do you support LAFC?
Mm-hmm.
The answer will be, well, my great-grandfather helped found the club. It's in our family. It's in our blood. It's what we do. And so with the environment, we wanted to create an environment that was similar to South American, Mexican, European, global football, which is driven by supporters. So if anybody out there is not familiar with the yellow wall at Borussia Dortmund, when you have a free minute today, go on YouTube and look at some videos of the yellow wall in Dortmund, which is 25,000 ardent supporters singing, chanting, jumping, screaming in unison, waving flags, not for 3 minutes here, 3 minutes there, for the full 90 minutes. And it just changes the environment. I see Sporting Kansas City in the house, and, we tried to learn a lot from the experience in their venue, from Portland, from Seattle, from all the other clubs in the league, because when you go to an authentic football match, you realize that you are not at an NBA game, you are not at an MLB game, and for as raucous as the NHL can be, you are not in an NHL game.
And
these guys, but we had the groundbreaking ceremony for the stadium
2016.
There were already 500 supporters that showed up. And I said to Larry, like, where did they come from? Oh, they've already been meeting. So this was already happening 3 years out from any the first time a game whistle was blown.
And to that point, Will, I mean, to be fair, this was a market that had another team in the market for about 15 years before you
Not
guys...
to mention the Lakers, the Dodgers, the Rams, the Angels, the Kings.
Yeah, you had a lot of...
Yeah.
So got the team for about 110 million, stadium for about 350 million. We all saw it last night. Seats about 22,000. And how many games do you get to? How do you experience a match on game day, Will?
I probably, with my schedule, and I probably get to half the games throughout a year. If I'm in town, that's part of our schedule. We know we're going to the game with my wife and 3 kids, and I love bringing people to a match, especially people who quote unquote aren't soccer fans, because guaranteed they leave going, that's the most fun sporting experience in LA that I've been to. And now I love soccer. Now I'll go watch that, any day of the week. So yeah, we come early, we stay late. I don't know.
Take him to the heart of the supporters area?
Well, and
I'll go down. Yeah.
To his credit, he also is part of the traveling support. So we've been to any number of stadiums, Sporting Kansas City in the house, Portland, León in Mexico,
San Jose.
Yeah. And Will has...
I said it. I've been
in
there.
in the north end of our stadium where our supporters are, we have capo stands where the leaders of the section stand during a match with their back to the field of play.
Right.
And Will has been known from time to time to get up in there and help lead the 32-52 in unison in their cheers and chants and songs.
Do you have a biggest rival in your mind, Will? Like, what's one team you love to beat?
Oh, well, there's no question, the Galaxy. Yeah. That's just it's funny how that's a rivalry that started from game one. There was no coaxing it. There was intensity there from the beginning, and it's those games are magic, you know.
They were scheduled to have maybe 75,000 on Saturday. 80. Well, at the Rose Bowl, they postponed it till July 4th because of the weather. But if it was a beautiful night, that would have been a pretty magical event on Saturday night. But it will be in July. You've seen a lot of changes in MLS since you've been part of this team.
Sure.
How do you feel the league is circa 2023 as you start its 28th season of MLS?
Yeah. So as I said at the time, it was a lot easier to go 23rd than it was to be part of that original core of teams, to be 12th or 14th or 18th. We had the opportunity to go around the league and experience various venues, ask those questions. What'd you do right? Better yet, if you had a do-over, what would the do-over be? We're able to incorporate that in our planning, both for our stadium and how we approach the business and the community. And we now see, really exciting things happening. Austin, Nashville, St. Louis,
Charlotte, right?
Charlotte, in all markets where I think there was probably more than a little bit of head scratching when the league announced this is where we're going next. And then with the move from traditional broadcast outlets to Apple TV, where, basically wherever you are, if you have an internet connection or cell service, you're going to be able to watch not just a couple of the matches in MLS, but you're going to be able to watch all of them. I think that's a really significant change for us to the good.
It's what's exciting is, like I said, I was on this tour in England, and we went to see a Man City game, and I got to talk to some of the players. So I'm talking to Kevin De Bruyne, who, of those of you know, is arguably one of the best midfielders in all of football. And he's like, we're talking, he's like, oh no, I've been to your stadium. You guys have that beautiful deck with the little pool up there. He's like, no, I've been there. And I got to play in this lousy weather. And I go, well, come play for us. Look, we can't pay you, but just come play for us. And so.
Yeah. And I do think that you talk about how the league has evolved, how the league has changed. I don't think 10 years ago, Gareth Bale, the captain of the Wales national team, would have chosen to come and to compete in MLS, to get ready to captain his national team in the first World Cup that they were appearing in since the 1950s. And we're attracting interest from players at that level. A lot of up-and-coming players see MLS as a natural stepping stone to higher thought of competitions in Europe and elsewhere. So the right trajectory for the league as a whole.
I want to talk about the Apple deal. It's launched on Saturday night. Raise your hand if you experience any of MLS on Apple on Saturday night. Raise them high.
There's one.
Okay. You both experienced it. I experienced it. Will, what were your thoughts? I know you got some edited goals. You saw some of the action.
I just thought it was just fun to have all the games played on the same day, same time,
schedule
to have
nice.
just kind of a cohesive place to check in on all. It just felt like, I was watching matches in London. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think not unlike I was just talking about where LAFC learned from the other clubs in the league that had gone before it, MLS has looked around to see what's been successful for other leagues. And you cannot deny that destination viewing of NFL games has worked very, very well for them. 2 start times on Sunday, you know where to find it. You know, they've expanded it a little bit, but on balance, it's those 2 start times on Sunday. And we had something like 62, 63 different day-date combinations over the course of last season alone. And then, as you and I were talking earlier, you had the challenge of, are they on national TV? Which national broadcaster? Fox, ESPN. Right. Which Fox? Which ESPN? Oh, it's not a national game this week, so it's on local broadcast. Well, where is that? So no more search and find. It's one destination, beautiful menu, you know, all of the games laid out.
And when you're done watching soccer, you can watch Spirited, starring myself and Ryan Reynolds.
So,
how many have watched Spirited?
Now we're talking.
Or Shrink Next Door, starring myself and Paul Rudd. That's still, I think that's still in the rotation.
Spirited, the most viewed content in the history of Apple television.
Well done.
Thank you. Yes.
I will say the broadcast at it was clean. The production level was great. It was because MLS is doing the production of these games, and you can
Tyler's hair looked perfect.
It looked perfect, and the wraparounds and the whip around show. What's the craziest idea that he's offered to you as part of the ownership committee?
Oh my God.
Do you remember? I know one idea.
You're going to have to help me.
That you won't remember.
Oh, I will.
That I'm afraid to bring up because you might hold me to it. But we were talking during COVID, and we were just during the lockdown lamenting during those hard times. I said, gosh, it's going to be so exciting to watch soccer again back at the stadium. I might run the length of the field in a gold lame Speedo and nothing else. And you were like, you may have to do that in a gold and black Speedo. Anyway.
So you see what I deal with.
That would have sold some tickets.
That's one thing.
That would have sold tickets. People would have, And so, but you are on the ownership committee or the strategic ownership committee group. Like, what do you get involved in? What areas do you like to kind of pressure test?
I really just like to listen to the business of the club, because Larry kind of goes through all the stuff he has to. Then we hear about the player side from John Thorrington. Everyone, it's an open forum to chime in here and there. I'll have questions about various things that I may have that are just kind of interest to me. But mostly I get to have the fun part of it, and then I'm like, oh, wow, there is a lot of pressure to sell merch. Ooh, so it is a business at the end of the day.
The committee itself is a little bit like what John Davis was talking about
right there
before we got up here, about that original group that got together and shared ideas about various things. So for me, I am fortunate to have owners like Lon Rosen, who's the chief marketing officer at the Dodgers. You've got Hall of Famer, now retired, former president of the Golden State Warriors, Rick Welts, current president of the Golden State Warriors, Brandon Schneider, former CFO and president of business ops at the LA Dodgers, now at Fanatics, Tucker Kane. So for me, this is an unbelievable resource. So they are all on the committee with Will. And there was a time where we had a discussion that was pretty robust, ticketing, partnership, merchandise, as Will mentioned. And when it was done, the next time I saw Will, kind of looked at me, shook his head and said, yeah, that's really a complicated business that we're in.
You go figure it out, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not dealing with it. Yeah.
But you've got a lot of, you have to manage up pretty effectively because his group does have a lot of owners, a lot of members in the ownership group. But you're seeing that as more of a trend around soccer teams, soccer clubs right now.
Sure. And look, I think when done correctly or mostly correct, it can be a really powerful tool. And so we did not put together a group with the intention that we could take a good class picture and, my friend Will, we could tote him out every now and then and say, look, it's Will Ferrell. See, he's here. It was more along the lines of, let's get together a diverse group of folks who have achieved various levels of success in a wide variety of industries. So we've got entertainment, we've got the co-founder of YouTube, we've got some of the most successful venture capitalists in Silicon Valley history, some private equity folks, two guys who basically invented esports.
Right, Brandon
and Mark. And so it becomes an incredible resource for us because there's typically not a connection that we can't triangulate our way to. Doesn't always mean that we're going to be successful. When I send out a note and say, hey, does anybody know somebody at this brand, because we're trying to convince them to do something, but it certainly doesn't hurt. And then there's no shortage of ideas. And what's been beautiful is you never know where the next good idea is going to come from. And it often comes from surprising places considering the subject matter of the idea, because Will has the stuff that he likes to focus on, but there are times where in casual conversation or serious conversation, he will say something about a merchandise idea or something we might do together with a corporate partner. And while that isn't exactly what I'm expecting from Will, because I'm expecting it from Brandon Schneider, it comes.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, you don't know where you're going to get the good ideas that you can act on.
Right.
I do want to open it up to questions that may be a little daunting, but I do think there's a throw around mic. So if there is, maybe we can get that ready to go and we could see some hands if there's some interest. But I do want to ask, also you got Angel City playing in your building at BMO Stadium, real success in terms of NWSL.
They have, they've reset the bar in NWSL. The amount of season ticket holders they have, the crowds they draw, the interest that their brand in such a short time. I think the expression, sort of explode on the scene, that they really just from nowhere became, I think, the leaders in many respects in NWSL and have rightfully taken their place alongside all the other brands, as Will noted, in a very crowded market. You forgot to mention USC and UCLA.
That's right.
Quasi-professional sports.
Yes.
You see now, Will, and you probably already saw it before, but sports as a force for social good. The way that the team can be active in the community. I think you mentioned the Habitat for Humanity project you went and did. Like, has that surprised you, how powerful a sports team can be in a community?
I think, I think a little bit. It's what is so fun about being involved in this club is just going about my day to day and having the average guy off the street, guy or girl, come up to me and say, I've had people show me tattoos they've had. I've people, a guy who told me, like, I live in Fresno and I wake up at 4 a.m. to make it for match day.
Wow.
I've had people just say thank you. And I'm like, well, I do very little, but you're welcome. Like, thank you for bringing, world-class football to Los Angeles. And I'm just pleasantly surprised. And it's just fascinating to me how much personal stake the community has in the club. And it's not going away. It's just going to get stronger and stronger.
And you should take credit for the club's success because you've had a lot to do with it.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Only amongst the 800 people here. Yes.
Right.
I'm the glue, baby. Yeah.
It's quite obvious.
Without me, this thing would fall apart. I mean, I'm running the numbers. I'm I'm calling Larry at 3 a.m. going, what's going on? And you many times don't take my call, but
They're very lucky to have you. They're very lucky to have. And you did go at 7 a.m. and took your whole family and in-laws to build the house
in Long Beach, yeah,
in
we
Long
built,
Beach.
we helped, we got the Flex power tools going. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Flex Power Tools.
Yeah.
Look at him dropping it. They're one of
Yeah.
your biggest sponsor, right? It's no rookie here.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess, Will, that was your idea.
To get Flex power tools.
Yeah, and to do the
Yeah, this
apparel.
was all. This is a look. I'm the guy who goes to our headquarters. In fact, I ran into one of our owners, Ruben,
Yes.
on week of Christmas. I'm in there shopping for Christmas gifts, and I'm always, scanning what new swag we have, and I love throwing on the gear all the time.
And dropping the sponsor names. I love
Exactly. Oh yeah.
it. You gotta be. Yeah. Any questions yet? Do we have one? Do we have the microphone? I see one here, and if I need help, let me know. We had the throw mic.
There's one.
Here it is. Here it is.
Oh, they
Toss
throw
it.
them up.
Oh, look
Yeah,
at that.
good
You
hands.
weren't kidding.
Clearly, clearly you've grounded the club with values. How do you take those values into each of your sponsorship conversations, not just grab the check while it's hot and waiting for you?
Yeah. I have found that sponsors, corporate partners, to use a better term,
Yeah.
our corporate partners and the brands that we talk to, within the first 3 questions or topics that they want to get into when we first meet them is, what are we going to do together in the community to make the world a better place? And, consistent with that, our new partners at BMO Stadium, that was the very beginning of the first conversation we had with them. We started talking about their commitment to the game of soccer up in Canada, that it was a decades-long commitment to growing the game, being inclusive, making the game accessible, making the world a better place. So we have found that, I was in minor league baseball starting in the early mid 2000s, and it was much more of I want to sign, hang it here, put an ad in a program. For those of you who are older, they used to print paper programs and hand them out at the gates or charge you $1 or $5 for those. But the brands have just become so sophisticated now, and they know what they want. They know that they want to do things in the community, and we're not talking about, a bowl-a-thon with a big cardboard check at the end, and you take a picture and you put it on social media or whatever. It's like it's sustainable change. You want to do something in the community where you don't zip in and zip out, where you're there for the long haul to see it through. And we find that our partnership discussions that advance are the ones with prospective partners who tend to see the world and the obligation that they have as a brand. And as Will was just talking about, that we have this platform and this voice that, together we need to use those things together to make the world a better place.
When do you bring in the closer?
Well, he will tell you he's sick of me, and a bunch of our partnership folks are in the room and know that we've made these requests. From time to time, we will go to the big gun and ask him to do a little personalized video. Will has been successful at recruiting through video. He has also helped in countless partnership discussions. And believe it or not, one of the things that interested Gareth Bale most about LAFC, as he described it, he said, when you're younger and you look around and you want to find athletes or celebrities that have the same birthday as you, well, I, Gareth Bale, have the same birthday as Will Ferrell. So I've always been a Will Ferrell fan.
I lied. It's one day off, but still, no, we actually have the same birthday. Yeah.
There was a great video of you recruiting a possible job candidate, and you said, "Do you want to be a winner?"
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And change the world.
So very subtle pitch. There you go. I liked it. We have a question, I think, over here.
Yeah. So got the chance to welcome to Wrexham and saw attend. Your journey as co-owner began in 2016, and Ryan's began in. Wasn't sure if you had any advice for Ryan and Rob as they started theirs.
Did I have? I'm sorry, it kept cutting in and out. Did I have advice for Ryan?
Ryan and Rob, yeah.
Rob,
Ryan had mentioned that they were about to go down this road. I think it had already been a done deal. But I just enthusiastically supported. I just said, "Oh, run, don't walk." To be involved with a soccer club from kind of the ground roots beginning, it's like you're just going to have the best time. And he explained kind of the situation and how it's this team in the middle of Wales, and the oldest, if not the oldest, one of the oldest football grounds in all of Europe, and how it's just the backbone of the community. And I said, you're going to have a great time. I also, Matthew McConaughey reached out to me too about the Austin team, and he said, I want to. So we invited him out to the stadium, he and his wife, and he got to kind of see, firsthand the atmosphere, the experience in the stadium. And I told him the same thing. Like, Austin couldn't be a better place to start a soccer team, and you're just going to have the best time. Just jump right in.
To your point, they both kill. The Wrexham story's been a great story. Austin is a great story for MLS. Yeah. And
and while we were just over there, I was talking to a reporter from The Athletic. He was saying that the Wrexham stories are now getting more views,
more read,
than any Premier League stories. So
raise your hand if you've been watching Welcome to Wrexham. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Will, this is something that we do at the end of these sessions. We call them quick hitters. So we're going to move along. I know you're going to be really good.
Lightning round.
Yes. It's almost Ron Burgundy style.
Yes.
Almost Ron Burgundy style. So we're going to hit it. Some are going to be for you. Some are going to be for you. But Will, I'll start with you. For this audience, people in the business of sports.
Ford trucks.
He's
sorry.
Good. He's quick.
Okay.
He's good.
No.
You're
okay.
What's your advice to them that the sports industry needs to do a better job of?
I would say continue to find ways to, appeal to your specific community. Really make it a mutual kind of engagement back and forth between the fan and the team.
How often do your LAFC fans come up and repeating your famous lines from your films, and how does it make you feel?
Often, and it makes my toes tingle.
I bet. No, you should feel great.
Not only
it's a lightning round. I'm supposed to just spit it out, right? Yeah.
Okay. It is a lightning round.
Yeah.
This probably is against the rules of the lightning round.
There's no rules in lightning round.
The same thing happens. We were in León, Mexico. Same thing with the fans from León. It happens up in Portland.
The fans in Mexico were shouting like, "Will, we love you. We hope you lose, but we love you. Thank you for coming to León."
At least they love you.
Yeah.
Right. All right. He is the glue.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's obvious.
The biggest, for you, I would say, not undersold story, but World Cup 26, U.S., Mexico, Canada. I know you're here on the committee here in L.A. Yeah. The potential of that is what, in your mind?
It is enormous. as we were talking about earlier today, I think the difference with this upcoming World Cup and the mid-90s World Cup that actually launched MLS is the number of players in our league on LAFC, Sporting Kansas City, all these other teams that will be competing in the biggest tournament in our sport on the planet for their national teams. And it's this wild opportunity because we're fortunate we have Kellen Acosta who plays for the U.S., but at the same time, we are fans of the Canadian national team because of Maxime Crepeau and Marc-Anthony Kaye, who used to play for us. Ecuador, we have 3 players. This past World Cup, it was Bale in Wales. And all across the league, Almeida in Atlanta, who scored a couple of late goals to win a game over the weekend, was on Argentina, who won the World Cup. And I think that's very, very different from they're going to have another one of these retirement leagues, and they're calling it Major League Soccer this time instead of the North American Soccer League, which was Pele. And so I think we deal with this all the time still. That, MLS is a retirement league, because you get a reputation and it's hard to shake the reputation. We are not a retirement league. We are an up-and-coming star league, and I think that will be on full display in 2026.
You are still refereeing some youth soccer games, or have you stopped?
None of my boys play soccer anymore, but I still have my jersey, Region 76, Beverly Hills, ready to go. I never made it as a center ref. I was a hell of a linesman, though.
Were you?
Yeah.
Were you quick on the cards, yellow and red?
I didn't know. I'm not. I don't. I just raised the flag.
Oh, you're okay.
Offside.
You're no, that's
But I would get funny. I'd be doing, I'd be traveling out to Riverside for a tournament, and I would just hear parents behind me going, nice offsides call, elf. And I just go like, yeah.
So you didn't engage with them. You didn't.
I have to, I have to
take it seriously.
I have to be neutral.
There's a line.
Yeah.
There's a line.
But it was always funny when a kid would come over to take a throw in and then slowly realize it's me. And then, like, what are you doing here? Yeah.
All right. I'm going to, one more for you.
Yeah.
Give the audience a little bit of what's next for Will Ferrell. I know that you've got a couple movies coming out in 23, I think this spring or summer.
Yes. A movie in it's either late May or early June called Strays with myself and Jamie Foxx, which is an R-rated talking dog movie. So get ready for that.
Is this dog a little nasty or what?
Well, it's supposed to be a parody of like a Homeward Bound, where all the dogs get together and help each other on a journey to get back home, but it's just nasty. Yeah. So that's coming out, and then a month after that, I play the part of the CEO of Mattel for the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
So, which is it's going to be really
quite
fun.
a year, from a nasty dog to the CEO of a doll company.
So
you're showing your range.
I'm covering it all.
I like it. I like it. And for either one, last one, biggest story in sports business that we haven't talked about that people in the audience should be paying attention to is what?
Well, we talked about it, I think, I'm not answering your question, but it's MLS on Apple TV, because I think that this has the potential to be a platform where other leagues that have bigger, better broadcast outlet deals now are going to see that the features and functions that our friends at Apple can use to enhance the experience because they control the operating system on the devices. I think it's going to be a game changer.
You watching anything in particular that we haven't mentioned, Will? Give you the last word.
Am I watching anything?
Yeah, in sports business or anything else? Or are you watching anything in terms of programming or on Apple?
Oh gosh, what am I watching? I just started watching Severance. Has anyone seen that? That's pretty interesting. Yeah, but that has nothing to do with sports. But we were talking about the Netflix, the golf.
Yes, you've seen Full Swing.
Full Swing. I just started watching that. That is fascinating.
Yeah.
And
Netflix doing more and more. They did, of course, Drive to Survive, Breakpoint, and now Full Swing on golf. So how about giving it up for Larry Freedman, the great Will Ferrell?
Thanks for listening to this episode of On Stage. If you enjoyed hearing from Will Ferrell and Larry Freedman, make sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this with colleagues who want to hear what happens when Hollywood meets the sports boardroom. Here's a closing thought starter. LAFC's rise has been powered by star owners, culture, and community. What mix of factors is driving growth in your organization? And are you leaning enough into storytelling? I'd love to hear your perspective. Send me a note at tbloom@sportsbusinessjournal.com. We'll be back next week with another exclusive conversation from a leader shaping the future of sports. Until then, stay tuned and stay ahead. This is On Stage.